welcome. You're watching Business Today Television. I'm Sakshi Batra and this is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the day street. What a day has it panned out to be. Look at the kind of stellar move that you're looking at on the Nifty. We are back above 23,000 and we are back above 23,300. Remember, we have the all-time high level of 23,338, very close to that levels. The markets have zoomed to the high point of the day, 485 points higher across the board. There is a strong move, a 2% surge on the Nifty, over a percent surge on the Nifty Bank. All the sectors sharply high in trade, led by strong move being seen on the IT index, which is now up 3.5%, followed by autos, small caps, infrastructure, oil and gas. 2% moves can be seen all across the board as well. And now PSU stocks are also up and about. The Nifty PSE index is up by about 2%. The top movers on the Nifty include stocks like M&M, which is up 5.5%. Remember that rural theme that we have been talking about, that is playing up strong. Wipro, Infosys, Tech Mahindra, the IT pack is doing very well in trade. Apart from this, Ultratech Cement, Titan, Tata Steel, these remain as the other top movers. Let's see the list of stocks which are on the declines. There are only 2 stocks on the Nifty which are down in trade right now: Tata Consumer Products and SBI Life. Barring these, all the stocks on the Nifty 50 are up into the green right now. Strong move being seen. This is after Prime Minister Narendra Modi spoke and addressed the nation from the Central Hall at the Parliament. Remember, the entire NDA had got together there, and also we saw all the NDA members talk and address the nation from that podium as well. Let's listen in to what Prime Minister Narendra Modi had to say from the Parliament. All right, we'll try and get you the bite ASAP, but let's also welcome Nilesh Jain, Technical Research Analyst at Centrum Broking, now joining in. Nilesh, a warm welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Tell us, how are you looking at this sharp recovery in the markets? We are now absolutely near to that all-time high level, 23,308 right now. We're just very close to 23,338. Are we going to test that all-time high level now in the last 40 minutes odd?
Absolutely, Sakshi. First of all, good afternoon to you. And if you look at the bearish candle that Nifty has formed on Tuesday, that formation has been negated, and in last 3 consecutive sessions, Nifty has witnessed a sharp up move. So looking at the overall development in last couple of trading sessions, I think Nifty is poised to hit a new record high. I won't be surprised if we see those levels in next few minutes now. So the target for the Nifty now comes around 23,400 to 23,500. So that's the kind of target that we are expecting in next 2 to 3 consecutive sessions. The support has also shifted higher at 23,000. Even if you look at derivative data setup, that shows that the put writers have once again shifted their position at 23,000 put strike. So that is certainly a positive sign. So new range for the Nifty is now shifted towards 23,000 to 23,500. And on the other hand, Bank Nifty, in fact, we are getting more comfort in the Bank Nifty looking at the risk reward at current level. So Bank Nifty also likely to scale to a new record high and inch towards 50,500 to 51,000 kind of levels on the upside. So stop loss should be placed somewhere around 49,200 for the long position. And lastly, if you look at the volatility index in the week, in last couple of trading sessions, we have witnessed a sharp decline in the IVs. That is certainly a positive sign, and it is likely to drop further from here, which will pull the index further on the upside.
That's a sharp move can be seen. Remember, today's high we've already touched at 23,316, just about 15-20 points away from the all-time high levels as well. And remember, this strong move has come in after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's address from the Central Hall in the Parliament. Let's listen in to what the Prime Minister had to say.
अगले 10 साल में मैं बहुत जिम्मेवारी के साथ कह रहा हूं, अगले 10 साल में गुड गवर्नेंस, विकास, नागरिकों के जीवन में क्वालिटी ऑफ लाइफ, और मेरा व्यक्तिगत रूप से एक बहुत बड़ा ड्रीम है मैं लोकतंत्र की समृद्धि को जब सोचता हूं तो मैं चाहता हूं कि सामान्य मानवी के जीवन में से और खास करके मध्यम वर्ग, उच्च मध्यम वर्ग, उनके जीवन में से सरकार की दखल जितनी कम हो उतनी लोकतंत्र की मजबूती है।
There you heard from the Prime Minister. He's talking very confidently about the next 10 years. And he's saying that I'm also very responsible where I'm going to be saying all of this. That good governance, development, quality life is going to be his key focus, especially for women and also for middle class and low and upper middle class as well. Those are the key segments that he's going to be really focusing on as well. Well, the Sensex has hit a record high in the interim, Nifty just a few points away as well. Let's get back to Nilesh. Nilesh, now that we are retesting just within days of uncertainty being all growled upon, we were not sure whether there will be an extended amount of volatility or consolidation, but just within the same week we have seen Sensex coming back at record high levels. What does that mean for the market? What does that mean for the investors at large?
Well, it's actually quite a surprising move that we have seen in last couple of trading sessions. So within this week, we saw a downtrend and we have also witnessed a strong reversal as well. So this move, in fact, has given a good confidence. Reason being, we have witnessed a strong reversal in the Nifty IT pack, which has been laggard so far. So now looking at the reversal that we are witnessing in the Nifty IT index as a whole, I think the next leg of rally, we might see Nifty IT index also participating from here. And apart from that, from the banking space, specifically from the private sector bank, we have seen a strong revival in the index favorite counters like HDFC Bank, Kotak Bank, and also Axis Bank. So this kind of broad-based buying is certainly giving more confidence, and the kind of fall that we have seen in the India weeks, that is also played a supportive role. So overall, from here we expect Nifty to once again regain the momentum that was lost in the previous week, and it is likely to inch beyond 23,500 as well. The next position target for the Nifty from a June series point of view is coming somewhere around 23,800 to 24,000. Similarly, for the Bank Nifty as well, we expect an outperformance to continue, and the target for the Bank Nifty comes around somewhere around 51,000 to 51,500. Now, good part of this entire momentum that we saw in last couple of trading sessions is also the rally that we are witnessing in the metals and auto pack, which are trading at all-time highs. So, given this kind of broad-based buying, as I mentioned, I think if at all we see any dip that can be used as a buying opportunity, and we expect a further move to continue.
Absolutely. So remember, viewers, Sensex has hit the all-time high of 76,738. That was hit for the first time on June 3rd, which means that the volatile nature, the sharp crash after that we have seen, markets have recovered all the losses that were seen on June 4th. It has gone back to the high level that it had tested on June 3rd, the day the exit polls were seen and the markets had seen a sharp run up. Remember, the Nifty is higher by 23,315. We're just about 20 odd points away from the all-time high levels on the Nifty too. Nilesh, which are the key stocks that will take the lead in this next leg of the run-up? Where are you confident of, and where would you take fresh positions?
Right. So Sakshi has mentioned the Nifty Auto Pack as a whole is looking quite strong. And within this pack, Tata Motors have started giving a breakout, and it has also regaining the good momentum. So I think from here, the next leg of rally may extend towards 1,000 to 1,020. So immediate target for Tata Motors comes around 1,000, and the second target could be 1,020. So at current level, one can buy Tata Motors keeping stop loss below 950. And apart from that, the another sector that is looking positive is the Nifty IT pack. Within that space, SCL Technology, this particular counter is looking strong given the kind of run-up that we saw in last two consecutive sessions. It has reclaimed its 200 exponential moving average and also surpassed 50 TMA. So on the upside, 1460 to 1480 could be the target for SCL Technology. One can keep a stop loss below 1410. And lastly, the third stock that we are liking is from telecom space, that is Bharti Airtel, which has hit a fresh record high just now, and this stock is looking strong for 1440 to 1460, and the stop loss for the long should be placed below 1395.
Okay, got that. Well, thank you so much, Nilesh, for being with us and sharing all these ideas as well and a view on the markets going forward from here too. Appreciate your time with us on Business Today Television. Before I introduce our next guest to you, remember this rally is coming right after Prime Minister Narendra Modi's speech has infused confidence that his government is going to be coming back and working for the development and growth-oriented nature that the country is hoping from him as well. Another bite of his is what we will be playing out for you viewers in case you missed his speech. Now remember, Prime Minister Modi has talked about on how NDA is the new India, developed India, aspirational India as well. There is a new definition to NDA that is going to be assuming power and forming the next government from Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let's hear that bite as well.
जनता जनार्दन चाहती है हम पहले से ज्यादा डिलीवर करें। जनता चाहती है कि हम खुद ही हमारे पुराने रिकॉर्ड तोड़े। और मैं साथियों एक तरफ एनडीए रखूं, दूसरी तरफ भारत के लोगों के सपने और संकल्पों को रखूं, तो मैं कहूंगा एनडीए, न्यू इंडिया, डेवलप इंडिया, एस्पिरेशनल इंडिया। और इसी सपने और संकल्पों को पूरा करना ये हम सबका संकल्प भी है, कमिटमेंट भी है और हमारे पास रोड मैप भी है।
Right. So there you heard it from Prime Minister. He's given a new definition to NDA, calling it New India, Developed India and Aspirational India as well. And not just his commitment, but also a roadmap towards achieving these goals as NDA also going forward from here. He also talked about the alliance. Let's quickly listen into what he had to say on that.
लेकिन हिंदुस्तान के इतने महान लोकतंत्र की ताकत देखिए कि एनडीए आज देश में 22 राज्यों में लोगों ने उनको सरकार बनाकर के सेवा करने का मौका दिया। हमारा ये अलायंस सच्चे अर्थ में भारत की असली जो स्पिरिट है, जो भारत का आत्मा है, भारत की जड़ों में जो रचा बसा है, उसका एक अर्थ में प्रतिबिंब है।
Okay, so that was Prime Minister Narendra Modi talking about the alliance as well. Let's also welcome our other guest on the show. Now we are joined by Abhishek Basu Malik, founder and chief equity advisor at Intel Sense Capital. Abhishek, a great day to welcome you. Well, you've been able to digest all the volatile moves on the markets, the frenzy that went through, the ups and the downs, and now we are back at record high levels, at least on the Sensex. We're just a few points away as far as the Nifty is concerned. Are you taking this again renewed enthusiasm that the markets are showing today with a pinch of salt, or do you think we've made the near-term bottom?
So first of all, good afternoon to all of you and your viewers. I think if you just block out the political events of the last 3-4 days and ask yourself the question that what has changed, the very simple answer you will get is nothing has changed. Right. We tend to get very carried away with the 24/7 news cycle. But ultimately on the ground, if you look at, say, I'm just talking about the economic policy making, very little has changed across political parties, across dispensations over the last 30 years in India. So, and especially in the last week, we tend to sort of over-focus on the recent events. But ultimately, the way Indian economy has been performing, I've been very consistently bullish on how Indian businesses have been performing, how India has been one of the leading economies in the world. Wherever across the world we see, challenges and issues, India has stood out in a good way amongst all other countries, and I don't see a reason why that has to change or that would change. Uh, the news cycle over the last 1 week was just that, was news cycle, time to sort of move on from there and focus back on corporate performance and how industries and businesses are going to perform over the next 2 to 3 years.
Okay, but Abhishek, do tell me, a few days ago, when the markets were trying to find their feet, there was this new narrative that the stocks that were being touted as Modi stocks, or those which had the Modi premium and had run up quite sharply in the run up to the Lok Sabha polls. Leaving those aside, it will be back to defensives, back to those underperforming sectors as well. How are you really looking at the scenario now? Where do you see the continued momentum will be seen?
See, I think India is a infrastructure uh, sort of. India is a country where infrastructure development is at a premium, so that is always going to be there. And if you look at it from a political lens as well, building infrastructure has multiplier effects. It has job creation effects. So any new government which will come uh, will have a focus on that, right? So railways, infrastructure, airports, all the areas that we've been talking about, renewable energy, because India as a country has given commitments for reducing fossil fuel usage, increasing renewable energy. So those are areas which are not in that sense dependent on very short cycles, though they are areas where there is a lot of demand and there is going to be a lot of work which is going to happen. Coming to FMCG or the defensives, again, a large part of FMCG is dependent on the pickup in rural economy. Now, we all know that rural economy has been slightly, in a difficult position since during COVID times. And I think we are, if you look at the numbers, if you look at the narrative that is coming out from FMCG companies, that is beginning to change. Hopefully, if we have a good monsoon this year, then we can actually see a pickup in FMCG as well. So it's more a function of basic demand drivers rather than moving to stocks because of elections and which party comes to power and so on and so forth.
Absolutely. Hold that thought, Abhishek. I will come to you with specific stock queries as well. But let me also welcome Shell Bhatnagar on board. Shell had taken a day off. He was not feeling well, but record high moves cannot keep him away from markets too long. Shell, Sensex is back at record high levels. We're just about 30 points away on the Nifty. Your sense?
Good afternoon, Sakshi, and hello everyone. You are absolutely right. It's very, very difficult to keep me away from the market. I was just sitting here and watching all stocks. But Sakshi, congratulations first. We are going to close at a record high because we are above the previous record close of 23,263, and we have about 20 minutes left. So let's hope for a close of 23,300 and above 23,300. And that's going to be a big plus. I would imagine, Sakshi, the driver of today and yesterday, which is IT, will remain in the limelight. And the reason why I say that is that still, after the 3-day rally that you've seen on stocks such as Infosys, stocks such as TCS, Emphasis, stocks such as HCL Tech and Wipro, on a quarterly basis, they are still down dramatically, and that is what is worth getting into. So if you look at Infosys today, it might be up 3.8% today and maybe 5-7% over the last 3 or 4 trading sessions, but still it is down 5% over the last 3 months. Wipro is down 6%, HCL Tech is down 12%. So this is the gap up that will be filled, and this is the reason why you see this very strong outperformance, 3.3% higher on the Nifty IT index. You remember we were talking about ITBs about a week ago when the Nifty IT index was around, how should I say, around the 200-day moving average. So, that is the reason why you should buy into such pain. And then, it may not award you or reward you in the next one day, but maybe 15 days down the line, you see that money and mojo coming back into the system. And as you rightly said, the old favorites are back: defense, railway, banks. So that's what's buzzing across the markets actually.
Absolutely. Let's get Abhishek into the conversation when it comes to the IT space. Abhishek, how are you reading into this fresh momentum being built in the IT pack? Right time for those who were still staying away from the underperforming IT to grab on the opportunity?
I think, like Shail just mentioned, I think, in fact, last time also when we were discussing, I mentioned that IT seems to have, gone through the worst phase. Globally, I think orders are going to start, coming back to the Indian services companies, and it actually might be a good time to start, sort of bottom fishing or start looking at IT companies afresh.
Okay. Right. Let me just quickly reiterate for all our viewers the kind of moves that we are seeing across the IT space. Of course, like highlighted, the IT index is up by 3.3%. All the constituents on the IT space are into the green, led by, of course, a very strong move that is being seen on Wipro. You have Tech Mahindra, Infosys, LTI Mindtree, a very strong move all across the board. Let me also reiterate for our viewers the top IT counters that are contributing to the gains on the Nifty. It's Infosys, and then you also have TCS, and you also have, so those are the key two counters that are contributing to the major gains on the Nifty. I think 58-59 points being contributed by Infi alone in trade. Abhishek, large caps versus mid caps, the continuous debate goes on. Where would you put in fresh money?
Makes no difference as long as the company is doing well and there's a tailwind and the business is fine. Absolutely no difference whether you're buying large caps, mid caps, small caps.
Okay, no difference whether you're buying large caps, mid caps, small caps. What about the PSU stocks, the defense names, railway names? Are they done for now, or is there more to go? Should one still step in?
See, defense is again a long cycle game. It's going to be executed. The projects that they are getting is going to be executed for a long period of time. We are continuously seeing newer projects, newer orders getting getting ordered. So defense is going to be a good theme for, I think, the long term. If you look at the other PSUs, I think banking PSUs, bank PSUs are a good place to be in. But again, PSU is a very diverse basket. You have to look at sectors individually within the PSU space. Some may be, much better than the others. So, for example, just like we were talking about railways, we're talking about defense. These might be better than some of the other opportunity spaces out there.
Actually, what's really interesting is when you dig deep into IT, there are two clear trends emerging, and both of them are very beneficial to domestic IT companies. You see the rate cut that's happened in the Canadian geography, as also in the ECB. Now, while Canada is not such a big market for Indian IT, but it's in the North American geography. So, ECB, the European Central Bank, and of course Europe, Western Europe as a business is about 20-25% of Indian IT. When you do a rate cut there, you're also signaling that possibly the ECB sees the US Fed also cutting rates. And that is the reason why you see such a dramatic surge in prices. Look at how Wipro's volume is 3.4 crores, which is 4 times the 5-day average. Look at Tech Mahindra, 2.5 times the 5-day average. Look at Infosys, 2 times the 5-day average. So these stocks are moving from very, very low levels of being, underperformers, of being under-owned, to not only moving towards a trend, but also getting back into the valuation game. One other interesting data I'll also give you as far as the IT pack is concerned, and that itself shows how different it is. If you look at the month to date performance, Wipro is the top performer. And remember what we were discussing, Wipro will move out of Sensex. It will be replaced by what was the company that was replacing Wipro? It slips my mind. Trent, I think. No.
Adani Ports.
Yes, of course, sir. Adani Ports. But yes, so you see how this deep underperformance is taken out in single day. And of course, one very interesting theme in the market is that the entire Tata group, Sakshi, is doing very well. Tata Power, Trent, look at TCS, look at stocks like Tata Motors, all of them are showing very strong gains. So these are the three themes that I could make out: the Tatas, all of IT, and of course all of the PSU ranks, whether it's defense, whether it's railway, whether it is some kind of PSU banks, and of course how can we forget Heritage Foods and Amara Raja Mobility, Sakshi?
Absolutely. Abhishek, have you also looked at these Andhra Pradesh focused stocks? I mean, like, is this just momentum right now, or do these companies have great value to be held on for long term? Heritage Foods, KCP, Amra Raja, KNR Constructions, the entire pack.
At least the construction companies I do follow, they definitely have a lot of opportunity, especially if Amravati starts picking up, and that is not only going to be good for a few companies, but it's going to overall be extremely good for the region as well, and infrastructure spending. The other companies I don't follow a lot, so cannot comment.
Okay, but you were talking about the rural recovery theme, Abhishek. So I want to understand from you, which way should one really look at if one has to really grab the opportunity on the rural recovery, and if the newly formed government, which will be setting up cabinets in a few days from now, there is a hope that probably welfare schemes, this will be probably on the top of their agenda, and rural probably will be back in focus. So would you go with staples? Would you go with autos, which have a rural focus? Where exactly are you looking at for opportunity?
So if you look at what one is, there is likelihood of seeing a lot of money flow, whether it's through direct benefit schemes or through increased spending in Manrega or whatever. So there is a likelihood of increased cash flow to rural households. If that happens, then obviously there is going to be increased spending in both staples, FMCG products, as well as discretionary products like motorbikes and things like that. So you can play it on all these sides. So motorbikes, two-wheelers is a good place. I think a lot of these two-wheelers companies and two-wheeler ancillaries, it could actually pick up significantly. FMCG, if you look at especially the slightly smaller FMCG companies, that might do much better compared to the very large ones, simply because for large ones it will take a lot of demand for them to pick up growth. But overall, that could be a good place. I know these could be good places to look at. You could also look at maybe fertilizer sort of companies, or agri products, agri input companies that could benefit out of this cycle as well.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now tighten your seat belts. I've been saying this for so long that it's always sitting on the top of my tongue. Let's look at Trent, Sakshi. A change in digit. It's now above 5,000. This is a nice blowout that's happening on Trent. If I remember correctly, this is now 3% higher, and needless to say, this is a record high. Yes, it is. It sort of just climbed above 2 days previous high. And Sakshi, it just slipped my mind again. Tejas Networks, This is also a Tata Group company now. Again, a very, very smart move coming in. We've seen an intraday high of 1303. Absolutely, it's going to be a record high in terms of close as well. So these are the other two Tata stocks that I wanted to mark. And what else is moving is, Bharti Airtel. So this is a very interesting stock that we need to look at. Again, a record high, 1426, and the percentage right on Bharti Airtel is about 4.5%. These are the three stocks that caught my fancy. We are at 322. I'm hoping the close will be above 23,300. But even if it is 1 point higher, above 23,263, we'll have a record close. Sakshi.
Okay, anything over here, Abhishek, that you're looking at that probably we have missed asking you into the markets, something that may be becoming the newer flavor of the markets?
Yeah, I think the old flavor is still the new flavor in the markets.
Okay, and if you could expound upon that, which is the old flavor that you're pointing out?
Say the infrastructure, defense, railways, and probably some of the newer ones could be IT, chemicals, those sort. But I think the ones that were doing well before will continue to do well.
What about
same
real
policies.
estate, Abhishek? What about real estate?
Real estate has been doing extremely well. We continue to see extremely positive developments, news flow coming through across the country. And real estate takes a while to pick up because people are sitting on the sidelines. Now when I talk to people around, especially in Calcutta and some of the other areas, what I find is a lot of people have actually made a lot of money from the stock markets, and they want to take some profits out and put it into real estate and things like that. So the demand is definitely there. Supply is still limited, so the cycle is going to continue for a while.
Okay, got that. Let me again reiterate some of the big movers from the broader markets right now that I can spot. IIFL Securities is up 20%, by the way, viewers, and IIFL Finance also is up by about 13%. So the group is moving. And apart from this, Pennar Industries is 18.5% higher. Again, you have the AB group. Keep an eye out on that. Remember, Sanjeev Bhasin had come in on our daily call special yesterday, and he said that I'm keeping a very keen eye out on the AB group, which is now getting re-rated. Two stocks were his top favorites from here, AB Capital and Vodafone Idea. Right now, AB Money is moving up. Now, you also have stocks like Ganesh Housing Corporation moving up, Premier Explosives up, KCP, as I highlighted, again, it's the construction major in Andhra Pradesh that's moving up as well. Praj Industries, LT Foods, Ashok Buildcon and IRB Infra. These are some of the pockets that are showing strong moves. Anything that takes your attention also, Abhishek, from the stocks that I mentioned?
I mean, the entire real estate, construction, infra play, those are interesting.
Okay, real estate and construction names look positive to you. M&M, would you have a view? It's the top mover today, 5.5% higher. Again, we've been talking about the rural theme, and M&M is also related to that as well. How would you really look at M&M, and can one still step in? We've actually seen a stunning move in the recent past on this one, but every time the viewers may be feeling that, is it the right time or is it too much? Am I entering at the high point?
Yeah, I don't very closely follow M&M, but I think, yes, it's being a conglomerate, it will definitely benefit from rural pickup because of large presence in tractors and also now in the automotive space. They could actually do pretty well, but I don't follow it closely enough to have a informed comment.
Okay, banks is another space I wanted your comment on, Abhishek. Today, apart from Infosys and Reliance, which are contributing about 60 odd points, is HDFC Bank, which is again contributing about 28 points, and the Nifty Bank is also inching higher, with the private banks now taking the front row, especially on these big underperformers like HDFC Bank. Is the worst behind us? Would you say that?
Probably. I mean, the economy does well if there's good monsoons. balance sheets have improved. I think overall the banking system should, the bank should do well, private banks should do extremely well. I'm probably slightly more biased towards maybe the rural focused MFIs, SFBs kind of space. But even very large diversified private banks like HDFC, ICICI, and the rest, they would also do well.
Okay, Sakshi, 3 minutes left. Let's look at a nice party that's going to happen not only in the Rashtrapati Bhavan but also on stock markets over this weekend. It's more or less decided we are going to have a record close, so 23 to 80 to 85 on the Nifty. The Sensex, of course, is also moving towards that 75,000, 76,000 is what I see. And next week you'll see a breakout happening on Nifty Bank, and the reason behind that is the one stock that you mentioned, HDFC Bank. It's now well above its 200-day moving average, and it's the reason why you see this very sharp good spurt on the Nifty, 2% higher, and in a span of 3 days we've moved from a low of 21,231 to 23,282. So that's 2,100 points is what my mathematics tells me, and that's the strength of the economy that people such as Andrew Holland, people such as so many other investors who came on our show, Vijay Kedia, Nilesh, both Nilesh Shahs, and all of them pointed to the fact that this was probably a dip that needed to be purchased. Mr. Ramdev Agarwal actually wrote a note saying that buy the dip, and that dip seems to be working very well. Now the market will move on the back of how the cabinet formation takes place and what are the priorities that are coming to it, and of course we'll now have a pre-budget rally to talk of. So 452 points higher, 23,272, a smart gain coming into stocks such as Pilani Investments. Remember you mentioned AB Group. Pilani Investment is the holding company of the Aditya Birla Group, now 4% higher. We barely talk about this one because holding companies are something that are not discussed in the broader market, but a strong move on Maruti, 1.1% higher. Tata Motors, Escorts, all of them going strong, even M&M. There is a feeling in the markets actually that both M&M and Escorts will be rewarding investors in a manner that they will like, and it is not just dividend but something else in the pipeline. That's the market gossip, Sakshi.
Okay, we'll keep an eye out on that too then. Well, thank you so much, Abhishek, for being with us on this very special edition, sharing your views. Always a pleasure to host you. And it's been a fantastic day. There you have it. The screen is freezing and you have a sharp 2% uptick, 446 points higher on the Nifty, 23,267. But we did go above that 23,300 mark as well. Clearly turned out to be a thank God it's Friday of sorts for the markets after that entire very volatile week that we have seen, finally heaving a sigh of relief for a lot of investors who'd been confused, uncertain about as to what is really going to happen. But things are back on track, hopefully. 49,805 on the Nifty, a 500-point uptake. All the sectors up into the green. IT remains in the top spot, 3.2% higher. Autos, small caps, infra, realty, oil and gas and metals remain on the top order as well. M&M, Wipro, Tech Mahindra, Infosys, Tata Steel, Ultratech Cement, Bajaj Finance and Bharti Airtel, the top movers on the Nifty. Let's see only two laggards, SBI Life and Tata Consumer Products. But on the F&O space, you had MRF today, which I had highlighted early in the morning. Then Torrent Pharma, L&T Finance, Alchem Laboratories, Ramco Cements and Vodafone as among the top movers. What did not do well in the F&O space? Exide, Jubilant Food Works, Tata Chemicals, Crompton Greaves Consumer, Petronet LNG and Oberoi Realty and thereabouts. But the PSU stocks also inching higher by about 2.2%. Fantastic end to the day. Let's hope that the momentum sustains the next week as well. Until then, hope you have a fantastic weekend ahead.
welcome to Business Today India Today Group. I'm Karishma. We're at Kappa India Summit Day 2, and joining me is Mr. Avid Mulin, who is the Chief Commercial Officer and EVP of Saudia. Thank you so much for joining us on this chat, and welcome to Delhi.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be in Delhi and here at the Kappa India event.
Right. Now, I'm going to start off by asking you